Let's talk about the situation in Portland, Oregon, with the protesters who've been clashing big time with the federal agents there. As you know, the president announced this week that he's going to send federal troops to other cities. That includes Chicago. You have heard people suggest this is a form of martial law and that it could be used as some sort of a blueprint to hold power were the election to go against this president. Does that feel far-fetched to you?
So I never put anything beyond what Donald Trump thinks or can do. So that does concern me. At the same time, the House of Representatives is doing everything we can to rein in this lawless conduct. One of the reasons that Bill Barr and others have been able to deploy these random federal units, both in Washington, D.C. and in Portland, is because the U.S. Marshals has been deputizing federal officials to engage in law enforcement that they're not trained to do. So just this week, Representative Earl Blumenauer and I announced legislation that would restrict the ability of the U.S. Marshals to deputize all these federal officials. And what we are seeing in Portland is completely unacceptable. Donald Trump is inflaming tensions. We saw now a wall of veterans. We saw moms and dads behind that wall of veterans. And Americans are not the enemy. Donald Trump needs to take his stormtroopers and take them.
Stormtroopers. With regard to that bill, what has been the reaction to the one that you're proposing?
So I'm very pleased it's gotten a good reaction. We're also in the midst of doing appropriations. And so I know through the appropriations process, there's also going to be amendments put in that would also prevent funding for officials that the U.S. Marshal Service has deputized to engage in cracking down on these protesters, both in D.C. as well as in Portland and potentially in other cities as well.
Yeah, and let me just add, Joe Biden had a pretty good response when it comes to the concern about this president not leaving the White House were he to lose the election and challenge things. I believe he said something last weekend to the effect of the United States military is perfectly capable of removing a trespasser from the property. That was a good one. All right, Ted Lieu, thank you so much. Good to see you.